everybody. Welcome back to L Does Boxing. We back with another episode of POE, Process of Elimination. You know what I'm saying? This week we got Janibek. We're going to touch on him. Before I do that, I want to salute everybody coming through the building. Make sure you guys hit the like button, subscribe, all that good stuff. Feel free to drop your comments in the comment section. You can follow me on Twitter at OverJ. Instagram, L Does Boxing. Feel free to tap in. And we're going to get to it, man. You know what I'm saying? We're going to get to it. Joseph Brown in the building. What's good with you? He said we got a new Boogeyman at 160. Hype in the building. Same thing, Boogeyman. Yes, sir. Let's see. Let's want to touch on it, though. Let me get my thoughts on that as well. So, Janibek, man, you know, he's the new WBO champion. He was the interim champion. He won that. He became interim champion in May when he stopped Danny Diggum. You know what I'm saying? And then he was supposed to fight Demetrius Andrade. Those guys had like 2 or 3 purse bids, and it went to negotiations. They couldn't make a deal, so Demetrius Andrade decided to vacate the belt. So Janibek was elevated. You know, a lot of people, you know, like my brother's talking about, they saying that he's the boogeyman. I don't think he's really a boogeyman, because to me, if you're a boogeyman, you'll fight everybody, no matter what it is. And the way he's been talking as of late, since he got the belt, he's sounding just like Demetrius Andrade. So y'all can take that the way y'all want to. But I don't really think so. I mean, it's a high risk, low reward type of fight. He is that type of fighter. You know what I'm saying? He's really kind of unknown. He is a good fighter, though. Southpaw, got good hands. He got a nice uppercut. And he got a lot of technical skills, good footwork and everything. He real good, real solid. So I ain't saying he can't fight. But that boogeyman thing, that's a strong word. That's saying nobody want to fight you. I don't think it's like that. Now, it's something, and then you can make a case. I see how people can make a case, because Javi Munguia turned it down. Falcao turned it down. What's my man's name? Demetrius Andrade turned it down. So it can look like that. But I say instances where even with Herkovic, the whole top 15 in the IBF turned him down. But when he fought Zane, he didn't look like no boogeyman. You know what I'm saying? So I think that word right there can get misconstrued. I don't think nobody want to fight him. I just think if the bread not right, it's not right. And that's the business. Y'all know the business of boxing, how that shit work. And I don't think no man like scared of no man like that, especially a guy with 12 fights and his best win is against Indom. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if these guys is afraid of that. I just don't know if they was gonna get the money that they was expect. Like if Andre making $1 million to face Luke Keeler and he only gonna make 750K versus Janibek, does that make sense? If you calling him the boogeyman, we're gonna negotiate what you're saying in the media. So that's how this shit works. You know what I'm saying? So that's my take on it. I don't think he's a boogeyman per se. Did Demetrius Andrade turn down the fight? Yes. You know what I'm saying? All the other guys I named, they turned it down. But him being a boogeyman, that's saying everybody's scared of him. I don't know about that. But he is a good fighter, though. He got a fight date, too. Supposed to be coming back in November. I was thinking he'll come back on Lomachenko's undercard October 29th. They both have the same manager. They both promoted by Top Rank. I feel like that'd be a good look. But he gonna get on, maybe have his own date or get on another card. I have some ideas. We're gonna break it down, of course. We're gonna go to the WBO rankings at 160, and we're gonna take a look at it. And since maybe he is getting avoided just a little bit, we're gonna take a look at 160 division and in the WBO rankings and 154. So we're gonna try to figure something out. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna do a little screen share and see what's good with it. And we're gonna go down. We're gonna do our process of elimination just like that. All right, let me get to it. All right, bet. So here we go. It's in the middle portion of it. Let me take Janibek off. All right, so in the middleweight division, it's the middle one. So he's the new champion. They already put that in there. He's a new champion. If you look at the super middleweight, they got Demetrius Andrade #2. So they already done made their changes. But back to middleweight. So going down the line. So Jaime Munguia, of course, he's out. Jaime Munguia got a fight date coming up October 29th. It's looking like it's going to be John Ryder. It could be Shane Mosley Jr., guys like that. But he already got a fight date, so he's out. You know what I'm saying? Young Billy in the building. What's good with you, bro? Salute. He said, I understand that. He's still a lot better quality opposition. Hold on. I understand that he's still a lot better quality opponent than he's been facing lately and wanted to fight Andrew. Yeah. No, I'm with that. No, I do think Andrew avoided him, you know what I'm saying, business wise, but I don't when you call a man a boogeyman, that means if anybody call him out, he gonna call their bluff. I just seen this week, I'm gonna get to it, where a fighter called his bluff and he was telling him to go do something else. And he calling out Canelo. We're gonna talk about it. He called out Canelo and Jamal Charlo, and you know those fights not available. You know what I'm saying? But it's all good though. But going down, so Munguia is out. Number 2, Chris Eubank Jr. He's facing Conor Ben October the 8th. So of course he's out. But those two will be good fights. All right, number 3, we got Falcao. So Falcao is an interesting um he's an interesting opponent because Falcao is number 1 in the IBF. So he's basically right there in position to get the either the vacant title from Triple G or fight for an interim title versus the number 2 guy, Michael Zarafa. And that's a fight that's supposed to be scheduled for Haney versus Kambosos. That makes sense, but I'm not sure if that fight going to actually go down because we still got to wait to see what Triple G does after the 17th. You know what I'm saying? Whether he win or lose, I'm thinking that's maybe a cash out fight. We'll see. If Triple G vacate like I'm thinking he will, he's gonna vacate the WBA. So if he vacate the WBA, Aristotle Lara gonna get elevated. And if he vacates the IBF gonna order Falcao versus Zarafa. So you gotta go through all these negotiations and purse bids and shit like that. That's why that fight may not get on the undercard of Haney Kambosos too. You know what I'm saying? Now, Falcao came out and called out Janibek today. Well, not today, but this week. He called him out saying he want that belt. Janibek told him he ain't trying to fight him because he don't have a belt. He only looking for champions. He said he wanted to fight Canelo and Jamal Charlo. So a boogeyman, y'all call him a boogeyman. He's telling the guy that want to fight him that he need to go get a belt. Boogeyman. So that's why I said the boogeyman word that shit get thrown around a lot because why not fight Falcao? That's an easy fight to make. He's a top ranked fighter. You know what I'm saying? He don't have a high profile, so it shouldn't be too crazy, especially if it's for a world title. He turned down the opportunity to fight Janibek for the interim title because he was already in the IBF route. So if you're looking at that, you understand that if an IBF belt about to become vacant and you can get the WBO, we can fight and unify. You know what I'm saying, on a top ranked show. You know what I'm saying? So you can't tell me a guy is a boogeyman if he's telling a fighter, an undefeated fighter, Olympic silver medalist, 29-0, you know what I'm saying, and he's number 1 in the IBF, that he need to go get a belt. Boogeyman status, like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know about that. Now, maybe he's a boogeyman to other people, but if you're a boogeyman for one, you gotta be one for all. That's just how I look at it. So I'm gonna keep Falcao just for the simple fact that he's a top ranked fighter. You know what I'm saying? He's a good name. I think that make for a good fight, 2 southpaws, but we'll see. Armando in the building. What's good with you, bro? Salute. Trey X in the building. Salute to you, bro. What's good with you? All right, we're moving down. So number 4 in the in middleweight, we got Carlos Adames. He has a big fight coming up against Juan Montiel, October the 8th. That's a WBC interim title fight. So he's gonna be the mandatory for Jamal Charlo. So if Charlo happens to move up, Adames versus Montiel, they'll probably get elevated to the full WBC champion. So he's out. So I had to take him out. Phyllis Cash, that's a matchroom fighter. It's talks about him facing number 13, Dennis Ragavon. That's on October the 8th on the Eubank Ben undercard. So both of those guys out, number 5 and number 13. Number 6, we got Meriem Sultanov. Sultanov. He's a Kazakhstan fighter, undefeated. Now, I'm gonna keep him, but it's some technical thing with him because he used to be promoted by Golden Boy, you know what I'm saying? And he was with the same manager as Janibek. So if you look at that before, I probably wouldn't keep him, but he's not with Igis Clemens anymore. So I'm gonna keep him for that fact. He got the international title in the WBO. So if you follow the WBO rankings, you know that's the second highest belt next to the world title. So he got that belt. So I would say I would keep him just for that. Maybe he's one of those guys I will keep just just thinking he's not with uh, my man no more, the manager, and he got that belt. But the downside of this, he's a Kazakhstan fighter. He's from Kazakhstan, just like Zanabek. I haven't seen a Kazakhstan fighter, a top Kazakhstan fighter, fight another Kazakhstan fighter. If y'all have, let me know. I haven't seen it. You know what I'm saying? I don't think Triple G fought one, even early in their career. I haven't seen them fight each other. I remember Zanabek did an interview talking about facing Triple G, and he was like, in their culture, they don't fight their elders or some shit like that. So I don't know. They both 29 though. The Sultanov and Zanabek is both 29, so maybe I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Maybe it's something he will revisit, but I'm gonna keep that to the side though. So we're gonna touch on it later. Um, then you got Michael Zarafa. He's number 2 in the IBF. He just became number 1 in the WBA. So he looked like maybe it seems maybe like a slim possibility, but he's right there in line for that vacant IBF to face Falcao. So I'm gonna take him out though. Murata at number 8. Now Murata to me, that's the biggest fight for Zanabek, in my opinion, because Murata is probably the biggest. He probably the most popular fighter in Japan. They can take that fight to Japan and do real good. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna keep Murata because of that. Now I heard some rumors about him retiring and stuff like that. But shit, for that big fight, I think they can do some things. Murata is a top ranked fighter, so it makes sense, you know what I'm saying, for that aspect as well. My man TBS in the building. What's good with you, bro? Salute. All right, moving on to number 9, Juan Manuel Tabarra. Now, this guy right here, I kind of picked him first to fight Zanabek, but he has a fight coming up September 23rd. I actually reached out to him and I asked him about the fight. He said this is a dead giveaway that he ain't trying to fight. He said if the money's right, if the bag is right, he'll take the fight. So when he said that, I scratched him off. I was like, nah, I'm good. So I'm gonna scratch off number 9, Juan Tabarra. Um, Number 10, you got Vincent Boots. Now he has a fight coming up next week, September the 10th. Now you would think, the guy he's fighting, he'll probably run through or whatever. And that's a name because he fought Caleb Plant. I'm ruling him out though. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna rule him out because I don't think I think it may be a possibility, but I'm gonna rule him out just for the sake of it because I don't think he would turn around that fast to face Zanabek. That's just my opinion. Number 11, you got Hamza Shiraz. Now he's a good up and coming prospect, tall, good puncher. He like 6'3". He just had a fight against Francisco Torres. He got dropped in that fight. Torres is the same guy that fought Jose Benavidez on Showtime last year. I'm not sure if Shiraz is ready, but I know his team, you know what I'm saying, got notified that maybe if they want to take this opportunity, they could. I'm not sure if they're going to jump on it. He's still a prospect. He's still learning. Now, he's with Frank Warren. So, Frank Warren, the top rank, they get along. They make fights. So, we'll see. But I'm going to rule him out, though. Andre Halovic, he's from New Zealand. He's a young fighter, kind of a prospect guy. He's been fighting at 154. I'm going to rule him out. You know what I'm saying? I don't think they would do that. Number 13, already ruled him out. Number 14, he's out because he got a fight coming up. I think it's September 17th. He's fighting on he's fighting in the UK. He got a fight coming up. I think he's fighting on the Wasserman show, I believe. So he's out. And then the Japanese fighter at the end, Harioto Namajima. He's a young fighter. I just think he's just in the ranking because he won a regional title. So I'm ruling him out. So far, going down the middleweight rankings, I'm keeping Falcao number 3. I'm keeping the Solanov number 6. You know what I'm saying? I'm keeping number 8. Rayota Murata. You know what I'm saying? So Murata, the Sultanov, and Falcao. So I'm gonna keep them. But I want to go down the 154 division because if a guy having trouble, this is my logic on doing this matchmaking. If a guy like Zanabek is high risk, low reward, then you're gonna have to go through a lot of rankings just to find his opponent. It's not gonna be easy. So going down the 154 division, I'm gonna do a process of elimination. I'm gonna pick somebody that I think that probably make a good case to get the fight. Buzz Bunny in the building. What's good with you, bro? Salute. All right, so 154. So we know Tim Tszyu is out. He got the Charlo fight. Number two, Liam Smith. Now that's the one I really want to stop at. That might be the only one I really stop at because Liam Smith is fighting tonight. You know what I'm saying? He just signed with Sky Sports and boxing. They both working with Top Rank. So to me, that's interesting. Looking at the weigh-in yesterday with Liam Smith and his opponent, Liam Smith came in like almost, I think it was like 159 or some shit. His opponent came in 155. So that's telling me maybe he's struggling to make the weight. He's a former world champion. He really don't get that many opportunities. At 154, um, Liam Smith is like a kind of like a fringe contender. Even though he's a former world champion, he's a tough fringe contender. You know what I'm saying? He ain't beating the top guys. 160 is down right now. It's not a lot of you can get some opportunities if you really want to fight these champions because they're not fighting each other. So it's not really a big strong division right now. If Liam Smith wins tonight, which I expect him to win, don't be surprised if we get the Janibek fight. What date? Where would they fight at? Try the Josh Taylor versus Calaral 2 undercard, November 26th in the UK. Don't be surprised. Josh Taylor is a top ranked fighter. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna be over there to support him. Zanabek really don't have a profile in the US, so him going to the UK, that may be his biggest profile. You know what I'm saying? So him facing a Liam Smith on that undercard, that makes sense to me when I look at all the shit that I just broke down. So I'm gonna keep him. Everybody else, they pretty much busy or they on the other side of the street per se. Tony Harrison, you know he ain't, you know, you already know, PBC. Carlos Ocampo fighting Fandor. Uh, Matazaliev, he's the IBF mandatory. He waiting for his shot. Brian Castano, he ain't moving up to face Zanabek coming off a loss. Troy Williamson, he's still like a prospect. He ain't ready. Jesus Ramos, he ain't ready either. He's still on prospect watch and doing his thing on PBC. Charles Conwell, I don't think so. Now that would be intriguing. I'm pretty sure if it ran across the table, that team would take a second look. I don't think so. You know what I'm saying? Damian Sosa, he just fought. That could be if Zanbek was fighting on the Lomachenko card, I can say Damian Sosa may be a possibility because they'd be in the U.S. and stuff like that. But I'm gonna rule him out. He just fought. Xander Zayas, they not. Y'all know they're not doing that. Josh Kelly, y'all already know too. Even though he's the international champion at 54, they ain't doing that. David Papart, that's a guy in France. Maybe I don't think so. He's not really as high profile as the other ones I mentioned. Then Patrick Olate, these guys down here. So I got four. I'm gonna keep. You know what I'm saying? Fakal at 160, the number 3 rated guy. Number 6, the Sultanov, the number 6 rated guy. Murata, the number 8 rated guy at middleweight, and then we have Liam Smith, the number 2 rated guy at 154. But he's a guy that kind of look like he's struggling to make the weight. So the guy at 154, but so that's who my bust on that. So that's who we're gonna do a poll on that. I'm about to post that right now. So those my 4 right there. Y'all feel free to tap in on that poll. So we're gonna see. We're gonna break it down a little bit more so I can pick who I think they're gonna actually make. You know what I'm saying? Let me go to the chat. He said nobody's beating Zanbek at 160. I don't know. I don't know about that. I think if some guys can beat him. I still favor the champions over him. I favor Andrade over him. But we'll see. Barbara Choice in the building. What's good with you? Salute. He said I saw an article with Liam Smith saying he would take the. There you go. There you go. I ain't seen that. I haven't seen that. That's what's up though. Liam Smith has been on a nice little run since the Canelo loss. He came up short against what's my man name? Kabranov. I thought he actually won that fight. She said salute to the chat. L Dub in the chat. Salute to you. Ricky Williams in the building. What's good with you, bro? Salute. DBL03. What's good with you? Salute to you. Teddy B in the building. What's good, Teddy B? Salute to you. He said, I say Liam Smith because that's a name for Janibek. Yeah, it is. The article is on boxing. Okay, yeah, I haven't checked that out, Troy. I appreciate it. I'm gonna check it out after this though. I got but I got the poll in the chat, man. Y'all feel free to tap in with that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you guys can see it. Let me know if y'all guys can see it. But yeah, I'm gonna break it down a little bit more, for sure. I think R West in the building. What's good with you? Salute. All right, let me take this off. Stop the screen share. So I want to talk about a little bit more about these guys. So starting with Falcao. So I feel like Falcao is a good fight for Zanabek. Both guys undefeated. Falcao got, he got the amateur pedigree, silver medalist and stuff like that. But he's going down the IBF route. To me, it wouldn't make sense as a business and if you look at how they promote, it really don't make sense for him to face Falcao if Falcao is number one in the IBF. And there's no telling if Triple G gonna vacate that belt. So although I think it's a good fight, I don't think I'm gonna take him out. You know what I'm saying? Even though he pulled the boogeyman card from Zanabek, because he called him out and Zanabek told him to go get a belt. So I don't know. So I'm gonna rule him out though. I'm gonna rule him out. It's my man said I think Marada beatable and a known name. Yeah, I think that's the biggest fight though. Andre lost to Vanas and got helped by his. I don't know. I thought he beat Vanas after he got dropped. I thought he dominated that fight. I think I scored like 8-4. He got dropped in the first round, but I thought he won that fight pretty clear. I don't know. Shit, maybe want to go back and watch that. He looked swollen in that picture. Yeah, he did. PGA's big dog in the building. What's good with you, bro? Salute. So I'm gonna rule out Falcao though. All right. Then we got the number 6 guy, the Sultanov. I'm ruling him out too, man, because I don't think Kazakhstan fighters fighting each other. This off that alone. I know this guy was they had the same manager before. They don't have it now, but I'm gonna rule him out. But it could be a possibility down the line. But for next, I'm gonna say no. You know what I'm saying? Marada. Now, Marada to me is the biggest fight, especially if they do it in Japan. Both top rank makes sense to me. I'm not sure though. If he was talking about retirement, whenever I hear that, I don't know. He's still ranked number 8 in the WBO, so maybe he haven't put those papers in like that. He's number 2 in the WBA, so that's a sign that he probably haven't hung it up yet. It makes sense to me if he was gonna do if they're gonna do it in Japan, like on New Year's Eve. That's a big ass day of boxing over there. But Janibek said he fighting in November. They got an article and everything out about him fighting in November. And if you look at November for top rank, they only got 2 dates. November the 12th, they got Oscar Valdez and Sinisa Estrada. November 26th, you got Josh Taylor versus Jack Calderon. I know it haven't been announced yet, but y'all already know what time it is over here. So which of those 2 will you think Zanabek gonna land on? You know what I'm saying? Which one y'all think? If y'all was really, thinking about it. You know what I'm saying? For me, it's November 26th on the Taylor Calderon 2 undercard in the UK. Especially if he's going to face the one I think he's going to face. So I'm going to rule out Morales. And I'm going to go with Liam Smith. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to go with him. Let me get back in the chat, though. He said at 160 is doing nothing. Why Charlo versus man, Charlo, because right now, Selecki still has a contract for Charlo. So that's probably the fight he take. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. To me, if you look at it like this, if Charlo didn't get the fights with Triple G and Andre and stuff like that, I don't even think he's gonna face Zanabek. Not saying he's scared. It's still more political shit. You know what I'm saying? But rather coming off a loss, I still think he'd take that fight. He said, "I agree, Dub. Salute to you, bro." Zanabek recently said, "I want to fight Jamal Charlo and get the WBC title. This would be pretty easy work." Yeah, that's the same thing Andre said. You know what I'm saying? They said Andre said the same thing, but somehow Zanabek is the boogeyman. I don't know. I don't know if that fight is makeable right now, but it makes sense as far as like titles and shit. But I don't know if it's makeable. You know what I'm saying? He can sell. He can sell. How do they make him a headliner? Which fight you talking about? I don't think on none of those shows I talked about that he would be a headliner, Zanabek. I think if he fought on Oscar Valdez undercard, he'll just be on his undercard. If he fought on Josh Taylor's card, he'll be on the undercard. So he can be a headliner on a top range show like he was in May against a no name guy and fill up with prospects. But that venue, Resorts World, that's not the biggest venue. So I don't think I can only see Zanabek headline like from here on out if he's facing a top middleweight or a unification. You know what I'm saying? So that's why they can throw him on the show. He still got to build his profile. He only got 12 fights. Now they recognizing Janibek right now because they call him a boogeyman, but that's his claim to fame. So that's why most people are tuned in, but we still haven't heard of him. Yeah, I like him too. He can fight. Yeah, he did beat him. He can fight. I'm just not sure if Kazakhstan fighters fighting each other though. It's not that Charlo was scared does he want to sell his older Canelo. I don't know. Social scientist in the building. What's good with you, bro? He said the Smith brothers have a following in Great Britain. Yeah, they do. Yeah, he fighting tonight. JC in the building. So yeah, so to me, I was gonna watch the Liam Smith fight anyway because I just be watching boxing like that. But it got a higher intrigue now. Liam Smith is a guy that he'll fight anybody to me. You know what I'm saying? He's basically at the end of his rope as a fighter, in my opinion. He's on the downside. He just signed a new deal with Boxing Sky Sports. They giving him a hometown fight today. It's a fight that he should probably win inside of 3 or 4 rounds, to be honest with you. And he's struggling to make the weight. Inside information, he's struggling to make the weight. If y'all go look at the weigh-in yesterday, he won nowhere near 154. So, and my man Trey, he just pointed out that he's interested in facing Janibek. That's the fight, yo. Janibek versus Liam Smith. That's the fight. That's what I'm guessing. Put that on the undercard of Josh Taylor versus Catterall. So that would have a decent undercard that people can talk about it. It will sell in the UK. They talking about doing that fight in Manchester, not Scotland. Even if it's in Scotland, I still think it'd be a decent undercard. Top rank can put that on. So I'm gonna go with Liam Smith, and I'm guessing he gonna look good. Now, of course, he be getting cut and shit like that, so we have to look at that. He got cut against Jesse Vargas and stuff like that when he stopped him in his last fight. So if he come out clean, you know what I'm saying, I think he gonna get the fight. I'm just saying. He said, I voted for Liam Smith. He always been the type not to back down from a fight. Yeah, he went to Texas and fought Canelo. He went to where he fought McGill at. He fought McGill in the US when he got DDT'd and shit. So he come to fight. And he'll fight anybody. You know what I'm saying? He been wanting to fight Kell Brook, Jesse Vargas. He wanted to fight Chris Eubank. That was one of his purposes of signing with a boxer and Sky Sports to get the Eubank fight. So yeah, I'm rocking with him. I didn't know Liam Smith was fighting today until this morning. Shoot. Yeah, he's on that. He's on the females on the card, the unification with Natasha Jonas and Patricia Bogart is on the undercard. Yep. I think the undercard on there. I'm about to go watch that. Lim could have won. Yeah, he did. He went to Russia and fought him. I thought he edged it out. It was close though. It was a close fight though. It was. I thought he edged it out. They could have scored the draw and ran that back. My gut tells me Ryota would get it. But because of the live stream, no, you good. You can wherever you thinking is wherever you thinking. Because I was thinking that at first too until my man dropped his fight date. He said he coming back in November. So that tells me, damn, the Murata fight would be big in Japan on New Year's Eve. So looking at the logistics of things, that's why I ruled out Murata. If he would have said, in December, then I'd be like, nah, Murata makes sense. That's a big fight. He can make some bread over there. Both guys is Asian fighters, if you really be technical, so they can really sell and build that. You know what I'm saying? They love Murata over there in Japan. JC said beefy. He said He said, Mangia DDT them, yeah. I remember that shit. My favorite fighters are Shakur, Bam, Usyk, Crawford, and Janibek. That's a good list, bro. I like all those fighters. Stone B Man in the building. What's good with you, bro? Salute. So yeah, so that's what I'm going with, man. Let me look at the poll real quick. But that's what I'm going with, Leon Smith. You know what I'm saying? And I had to let me see. I had to look at it a little bit and see. I had to think about this one for a second because I was like, yo, it's gonna be hard to for the guys. I will say this, although I don't think he's a boogeyman because I think people will fight him, but I will say when he come across your table, you're gonna be like, hold on, how much we getting? Because like I said, the media and people talking, if you call him a boogeyman, then we're going to approach this negotiation as that. And if I can't get what I'm asking for, that's just boxing, yo. I'm telling, that's the business of boxing, yo. I mean, it's not no sport. No, like it ain't. If it was a sport, then he would get the best guy that's available. But it's a business. That's how shit work. It's been like that for years, though. It haven't just happened because after Floyd Mayweather, the shit was happening in the '80s too. It was just those guys was probably more consistent with fighting the bigger fights, but shit was still happening. You know what I'm saying? I will never forget this. I will never forget this story as a kid, and then rewatching as an adult when Michael Nunn fought Colin Bay. When he fought Colin Bay, the WBA champion, I don't think his title was on the line. He fought him. I seen Sugar Ray Leonard was sitting in ringside. You had everybody there ringside, and everybody was talking about. My uncle put me on with this. He was like, they were supposed to make Michael Nunn versus Sugar Ray Leonard. He was looking for an opponent coming off the Hagler fight. He seen that performance and he was like, nope, we're gonna go holler at Thomas Hearns. That was a bigger fight, bigger name fight. It was a rematch. He made more bread. And what he do, he lost that fight to Tommy Hearns, in my opinion. Kind of cherry picked Tommy Hearns because Tommy Hearns was coming off a loss to Iran Barkley. So that shit happens. That's business of boxing. You know what I'm saying? He didn't go to Nunn, and Nunn looked spectacular. Tommy Hearns didn't look good in his last fight. He go get Tommy Hearns. I think Tommy Hearns fought somebody else and won the title. He won the WBO title or something like that. So that shit been happening. So don't get blinded when they say, man, back in my day, fighters fought everybody. Yeah, they did. They fought more people and they was more after that fight. But it was still business of boxing in that shit too. It was still in that. It was still, it's been like that forever. You know what I'm saying? It's just nowadays, it's just more scrutinized. It's more in your face because of social media and because some promoters run out and tell you their whole plan and like that. So now we seeing it in our face. But this shit always been there though. So when people act like it's new or they hate boxing now because of that, shit been there. You just started to see it now. That's just how I look at it. Japanese fans are some of the most appreciative and respectful fans. Yeah, yeah, they barely be clapping and shit. They got some big fights coming over there. November the 1st, Karaguchi versus Kenshiro. That's 1 versus 2 at 108 pounds. That's a big ass fight. Then they got Donaire. Donaire versus no, excuse me, not Donaire. Anyway, versus Paul Butler. That's December 13th. Look, now, hey, look, when everybody talking about Murata, maybe they can do that fight. They can do that fight on the undercard of Anyway versus Paul Butler. Maybe. So it's still some hope, you know what I'm saying? I ain't ruling out none of that shit. All that shit is top ranked. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna go with Beefy, you know what I'm saying, just because of that event. And I think Murata, I don't see Murata fighting on the undercard of Anyway when he's the bigger star over there. If y'all know, y'all know. He's a bigger star than Anyway over there in Japan. Although that makes sense for us boxing fans, we want to get all the big fights in one night. Give it to us all, especially if we got to pay for it. Put everybody on the other card. Throw everybody on there, so we're gonna get our money's worth. I get it, but like I said, the way that the business should be working, if Murata a bigger star, shit, you get the New Year's Eve date, and let Anyway fight 2 weeks before you. You know what I'm saying? So that's just how I been looking at that shit, man. You know what I'm saying? My man said facts. So yeah, that's what it is. So we'll see, man. We'll see. But I like doing this breakdown because sometimes I put out something on my social media and I break it down. This is how I break it down. I go to the rankings first. I do a process of elimination, then I throw it out there and see what it is. You know what I'm saying? I don't be right 100% of the time, of course, but I can tell you why I could be right. You know what I'm saying? So that's the whole thing. That's how I break it down. So that's why I wanted to bring that to my channel so I can just show you guys how I be doing it. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. So I want to salute everybody in the building. I appreciate everybody coming through, all the comments and stuff. Much love. We got some fights going down today and tomorrow, so it's kind of good. Nothing gonna run across each other. Nothing gonna overlap this weekend, so that's good. We got the Liam Smith card. It's on right now. The prelims and stuff. Y'all tap in behind the scenes if y'all need a link for that. Um, or you can get it on Fight TV, however you're trying to do it. And then tonight, the Zone have a card with Juan Francisco Estrada coming back. You got a women's world title fight, Cruz versus Majanovic. You got some heavy hitters on the undercard. You got Rocky Hernandez. He's a big puncher at 130. So it should be a fun night tonight. And then tomorrow, we got the pay-per-view with Andy Ruiz versus Luis Ortiz. So, you know what I'm saying? All this shit right here, nobody can be complaining this weekend. You know what I'm saying? No fights bumping into each other. You know what I'm saying? We got some early in the afternoon, then we got one at night, and then we got one all Sunday. So everybody can enjoy it and get your content out, break it down. Everything should be 100. You know what I'm saying? Um, he said 99% of the time. Yes, sir. So I don't like you giving everyone your secrets, but very informative. Oh shit, man, I appreciate it, bro. Appreciate it, man. Hey, I just try to help people out though. I just try to help people out because I think it's a fine line, and this is what I had to learn too, as a boxing fan, and it kind of made me better too. It's a fine line for just saying what I want instead of what's probably gonna happen. If that makes sense. Like I want to see all the best fights. I want to see Janibek versus Charlo, Janibek versus Triple G, do it in Kazakhstan. I want to see all those big undisputed fights, unifications. But I'm following what the promoter's gonna give us, and what they've been doing. So if they show me they're not gonna give us that, and how they be doing it, like how Lara fought Thomas Lamana for the WBA regular title. Like, come on. So I'm following the game plan. And all I'm doing is just throwing it out there. So anybody that need it, if they want it, if they rock with me, they can have that shit. That's all. That's the reason why I wanted to do it. But yeah, they watching too. Trust me, those promoters and a lot of these people that's respected in the boxing game, they tapped in to LW's boxing. They tapped in for sure. And some of the fights they making is based on my my suggestions. But it's all good though. Marlon King boxing in the building. What's good with you, bro? Salute. He said, "What's great, the law. What's good with you, bro? I appreciate that super chat, man. Salute to you, bro. What's good with you?" Ben Shalom, Liam Smith promoter said Liam Smith will now avoid Janibek. See, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I say Murata for Janibek. I think that's the biggest fight. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. He said, being a hoarder. Nah. Hey, yo, real talk though. I ain't gonna lie. The reason why I like to do this too, because I be putting out like, yo, y'all want to tap in behind the scenes and shit, hit me up. I got you. And I don't really be getting nobody tapping in. So I tap in myself and just put it out. You know what I'm saying? It'd be a lot of gems and shit, you know. He said, who you got with Weeds versus Ortiz? I like Ortiz to win a decision. I think he's gonna slow down Andy's work rate. We'll see how his legs hold up because that Charles Martin fight, that shit didn't look too good to me. But I think Andy will have problems with the southpaw. This is the first southpaw I remember him fighting. I want to say he never fought one. Not that I remember, and not anybody that good. So I think his hand speed is. I think if Ortiz legs is straight, he gonna be in a position to counterpunch Andy, and I think he'll slow down Andy's work rate. But we'll see. I think it's a 50-50 fight though, but it could be the other way around. I mean, I said hit the like button. I appreciate that. He said 99.9% of the time you're right. I try to stay on it. I try to stay on it. He said he knew somebody was fighting before they did. Yeah. Yeah, we was at a fight. Me and my man Kyle was at the fight, and the manager and shit was talking to the manager, and I was like, bro, so your guy gonna fight this one right here? He gonna fight this guy? He was like, yo, we haven't even announced that yet. How you know? I was like, shit, we working. You know what I'm saying? So shit like that, man. We ain't just on here. We everywhere. It's just early thoughts on man. I like that fight, man. Shit, that's on my birthday too, so that's even better for me. Um, I like Bivol in the fight. I think he gonna outbox Zerto. Zerto at 175. All his fights at 135. The night of the fight, he 200 plus. If he's bringing that mindset against Bivol, it might be something like 10-2 because Bivol is too fast. He's gonna be too fast and too quick in and out, and he's gonna make Zerto kind of hesitant because he's gonna be too slow. He's gonna be missing a lot. If Zerto is coming into the ring fight at the night of the fight, like 195, 192, then I give him a better chance because he'll be quicker. He already slow on the front foot, on the lead foot. He's heavy footed, so it's like what I'm saying? I think he already down in that department. That won't go change if he was coming in at 185 on fight night. So I like Bivol to outbox him. Stab jabs to the body, get the right hand going down the pipe, being patient, making Zerto kind of reach and counter punching him. So I like Bivol. I don't know if Bivol gonna stop Zerto, but if Zerto come in 200 plus, I got Bivol 10 rounds to 2 off the rip. Yeah, Fight TV. Yeah, Fight TV got a card. You got Albert Bell fighting tonight. You know what I'm saying? That's a top 130 pounder. Andy Reason did an interview and he spoke on his lack of southpaw opponents. See, there you go. The next matchmaker. Yeah, bro. Hey, tap in, yo. Tap in. TS Bison in the building. What's good with you, bro? I just don't see all that in Janibek. I think he's good though. I watched him live. I was at his last fight live. I think he's good. He's good. He's good though. I think he's good. He's solid. You know. He said, "Really, I got Ruiz. Ortiz look old and looking older too. Dude got to be close to 50. Yeah, I mean, I'm with that. I'm looking at the tactics of the fight. Like I said, as far as southpaw, you got a guy like Ortiz is always in position to counterpunch, and I feel like, and then another thing too, Ortiz don't really lose that many rounds, man. When you think about it, other than him getting knocked down and shit like that, he really don't lose that many rounds. And they're gonna have to find his way inside. That means it's gonna give Ortiz an opportunity to counterpunch. Not saying Andy can't work to the body and get that stab jab going. And I don't know. We'll see. If I don't see if Ruiz don't get lazy too up in there, especially when Ortiz started to bounce on his feet. So that's what I'm saying. The key to the fight is Ortiz's legs to me. So we'll see. Showtime or Fox Sports tomorrow. It's on Fox. PBC. Yeah, it's a pay-per-view. Yeah, Fox. I think it started on Fox. Yeah, they're gonna have so on FS1, y'all gotta check y'all times, but 4 o'clock my time, West Coast. I guess it's 7 on the East Coast. On FS1, Rais Salim is gonna face uh Mike Planger. Then it's gonna switch over to regular Fox at 8 o'clock, 5 o'clock Pacific. You'll get George Spencer versus Kevin Salgado. And then 9 o'clock on the West Coast, 9 o'clock on the East Coast, 6 o'clock on the West, you're gonna get the pay-per-view. The main event. He said, I don't trust Andy myself. I take old reliable Ortiz. Yeah, both guys look vulnerable in their last fight. They both was dropped. Andy got back up and started to go to the body and break down Areola. You know what I'm saying? And then Ortiz got up. He got dropped twice. He got up and ended up stopping Charles Martin. That was a pretty interesting fight, too. He said, I agree about Zerto's speed. What concerns me is Bivol's style is best against short fighters. He didn't look as dominant against tall fighters like Spider, Richards, and Solomon. Yeah, he didn't look that good with them guys. I think he's just gonna beat them to the punch with his speed and stuff. He said Andy will win tomorrow. I can definitely see that, man. Andy he look explosive on the pass though. He got them fast hands. We'll see. I think he has to go to the body for sure. I think it's the possibility he can chop down Ortiz, bro. I can see him going to the body. It's just he gonna have to pay a price. Like how many? Like I know he run combinations, but will he limit his combinations to 3 punches? What if just only one gonna hit? Or because normally he'll run about 5 on you. Ortiz, you gotta be cautious, but it's a fight Andy can win though, so I ain't turning him down like that. I like that PBC card. Let me see. Joker's trying not to see my dude shooting off. Yeah, shooting off up and down. They talking about Bud Crawford. It's I respect Janibek because he wants to smoke, unlike Munguia, who's ducking the solid fighters at 160. Yeah, I think Munguia's days at 160 is over with. You know what I'm saying? I think he's gonna fight at 168 from here on out. I got Bivol as well. Zerlo did nothing in his last 2 fights. Yeah, he actually the fight before last against Gonzalez. Yo, he was getting touched up. Yeah, I think that was the fight. Yeah, he was getting touched up in that fight. I just think Bivol gonna be too fast for him. A little bit too tricky. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so that's the time right there, man. So yeah, make sure you guys tap in with the fights, and if you guys need any of those fights, feel free to tap in. If y'all need a link behind the scenes, just scroll across the bottom on social media. Yeah, he did. He lost that fight against my man Triple A. My man, he got a fight coming up. I just seen that recently. He got a fight coming up. Have you seen the fight? Yeah, I seen him. He's #1 in the WBC at 168. If Kristen and Billy wins next week versus DeAndre Ware, that's the fight they're trying to make in Canada in December. I the Tiger Promotions. Yep. And that'd be some type of eliminator in the WBC because and Billy is #3. You know what I'm saying? So if he beat Ware, and then that fight right there next week, Trey, and Billy versus Ware is gonna be on ESPN Plus on Friday night. You know what I'm saying? So you can check it out for sure. But yeah, they got a date for him in December if he wins. This is the guy they wanna bring over to Canada. So yeah, yes sir. Janibek is the newest email champion. Man, we can go back in history. I don't see, man, we boxing fans is crazy. Calling motherfuckers email champions and shit. That shit happened so many times in boxing. You know what I'm saying? But it's all good though. I think Janibek is a threat, but we'll see. He called me email champ. That's all good. All right, yo. So I want to salute everybody coming to the building, man. Like I said, y'all can follow me on my social media if y'all want to hit me behind the scenes. Twitter @OverJ, Instagram L Does Boxing. Feel free to tap in. That's my time, and I'm out.